Today marks the largest single product introduction in Apple's history. 6 new CPUs, plus 2 new printers. Today is also a celebration of the shipping of the 10 millionth Macintosh.
Over the past 4 months, Apple has introduced 15 new products, including desktops, notebooks, peripherals, and software. In all product areas, Scully says the company is focusing on what has always been Apple's strength, multimedia.
With the desktop products, you will see us adding more and more innovation with multimedia, building CD-ROM drives in, for example, into many of our new products. We have much wider bandwidth, higher bandwidth I/O, the ability to communicate multimedia images in collaboration between work groups with our desktop systems. You'll see us introducing greater capability for imaging, where we can now handle photographic quality images, both in the computer and also on printers. We can bring in those images through Photo CD, or we can bring those images in through our scanner products. And this year we've just introduced our first one-button color scanner.
Perhaps as important as the new product announcements was Scully's statement that Apple was planning to expand beyond the computer hardware and software business into computer services.
In the future, when somebody buys a personal computer from Apple, that is the beginning of the relationship with Apple, because we will be entering into new businesses that are service businesses. And we have just announced our first Apple online service, which is an extension of the work that we have done for many years internally, called Apple Link. And this is going to become a public-based service on a global basis, one which we think will have considerable importance in the mobile systems area.
Apple's entry into the mobile area will be strengthened later this year with the introduction of Newton, its first PDA product. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Jonelle Patterson.
So let's start with the lower end of the new Mac line, the Color Classic and the LC3. And here to show us those machines are Claire Dean and Dave Dates of Apple Computer. Claire, let's start with you, and let me first of all ask you about the little sign on the Color Classic, the 10 millionth Macintosh. Is that in fact the 10 millionth Mac?
It is. It is the 10 millionth Macintosh. Since the introduction of the first Mac in 1984, Apple has shipped over 10 million computers.
And who gets to keep that one?
The Apple Museum.
Okay, that's fair enough. Show us a little bit about the Color Classic. What's new about it, Claire?
Okay, it is a classic, so it's very simple to use. Everything is built in, and it's very affordable. Now it has brilliant color. This is a 10-inch Trinitron display.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with 256 colors built in, and you can easily upgrade to thousands of colors. We didn't just stop at adding color, we also added expansion. So there's an LC processor direct slot built in, and we've built in a microphone right here.
All right, you've also added some stuff to the control panel on this version, right?
Because this is an integrated unit, we can control the display. So what we've been able to do is add a special energy saving feature. This control panel allows you to turn on the feature, and once it's on and the computer sits for a period of time, the display will power down. And simply by touching the key or touching the mouse, the display will come back up. When it's in that sleep mode, it saves over 50% of the power.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, now you mentioned expandability. How do you do that in a Classic? How can I open a Classic up?
Well, before it was very difficult.
Right.
You had to have a special tool that we called the case cracker.
Yeah, right.
This time we've made it very easy. If you want to install an expansion card, like the Apple IIe emulation card or NTSC video out, you simply pull off the back panel and pull out the logic board.
Nice. Okay, that's the Color Classic. Let's turn now, Dave, to you and the LC3. What's new in the 3 version of the LC?
Okay. Well, the Macintosh LC line appeals to a very broad audience. There are a lot of people that are looking for a versatile, low-cost personal computer, and the LC line is Apple's most successful line. What we did with the LC3 is really build on the success of the LC2. We talked to customers and asked them what they'd like to see us enhance, and really there are 3 themes that emerged: performance, additional memory expansion, and additional display support. So the LC3 is Apple's fast, versatile, and affordable slimline Mac. It does share the same slimline design as the LC2. There's a few other enhancements it offers. It does have now a socket for an optional floating point unit. So if you want a math coprocessor, you can add one. In terms of display support, you can now have actually up to 16-inch displays directly connected without having to buy a video card.
Okay, what do you have up here? Just give us a little run-through of a piece of software on the LC3.
Well, as I mentioned, there's broad appeal for the LC line, and one of the markets that's been very big in addition to home and business is K through 12. What I have here is a little interactive education application for kids, and it really showcases some of the color as well as the sound that's built into the LC3. What we can do here is have...
What's the program called, Dave?
This is called Yearn to Learn by ImageSmith.
Okay.
Here's the World War I flying ace, sitting with a young lass in a small cafe near the border.
So here kids can learn how to read, and if they have a particular question on a word, they can click on it, hear the word. There's also some neat little animations
Bread.
that you can see there.
Yeah.
Snoopy can guzzle beer, etc. So this is really just a neat program here for kids as they're learning how to read and taking advantage of the sound and the color of the LC3.
Okay. Dave and Claire, now these two machines, the Color Classic and the LC3, are pretty close in price. Help a buyer decide if you want to get into one of these Color Macs. Do you buy the Classic? Do you buy the LC3? What are the factors involved here, Claire?
Well, the suggested retail prices of this system and just the computer system are relatively the same. For the LC3, you'd need to purchase a monitor for it. So if you look at system price to system price, they're roughly about $300 difference.
Okay.
So
features?
For the Color Classic, it's a 16 megahertz or 30 microprocessor. With the LC3, you'd get 25 megahertz. So it's about twice the performance.
So you're getting more speed over there on the LC3.
Right. And on the Color Classic, you'll have the all-in-one design, and it's very easy to transport.